either somewhere in the Bible in Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, or Romans. I don't remember at the moment. I'm not in the mood to look it up, but there was a short clause in there that said go to ant, and reading that really opened my imagination. I think it was July 3rd, the night of or the morning of the 4th of July 2022, where I had the dream about it. And in the dream I was looking at an ant, and it was as if all of a sudden right there I knew every human mind combined was just one neuron in the brain of a higher dimensional being. It was a cool dream. I don't know if it was insightful. I feel it was. But that's just one of those things magical about the Bible, other than the Bible codex proving that it's perfectly mathematically formulated to predict the future. I need some help verifying whether the case of the Moby Dick predicting assassinations has been disproven or not. If anyone's got anything on that, let me know. But other than that, as far as the Bible goes, it runs deep. It's what led me to a certain hypothesis about not only divinely inspired texts, but divinely inspired sequences designed from perfect matrices and magic squares. If there was some way to convert it to the Jewish language, basically the notes in the sequence, maybe the message itself is prophetic as well within it. To start out with my experimentations, I would take a regular magic square. I don't think this is a perfect magic square, but I would line up the horizontal and vertical vortices and connect the lines, and I figured out that modal sequences within serial experiments actually lie within the inner latent value of 12-tone music. And that was my first experiment. My second experiment was to put numbers within a polyimand and different polyimand tessellations and convert them to musical sequences. I haven't played these sequences yet, but I'm excited to see what kind of music can come from it, especially from a natural frequency. And then I stumbled across a most perfect magic square created by David Bree and Kathleen Ollerenshaw. And what makes this so special is the extreme amounts of constraints to where it all equals the perfect numbers, diagonally, across, and in specific groupings, and in four corners, all equaling the same number. No number repeated in this whole matrix. Now, that converted to music ought to create some cosmic phenomenon. Absolutely. Now, one can look forward for me to testing the hypotheses behind the divine inspiration of these squares converted to music. I'm sure someone already has, but you can look forward to the end product of the fruition of me testing these things out, either with a frequency generator or an electric piano. The reason I share this is because reading Romans has taught me that knowledge is just vain when not shared. So I'm trying to step outside of the box of the whole mental psychic war that's happened in 2021, to where it's been hard to share anything, especially when you have people that are close to you exploiting your honesty in manners that are just toxic over anything. It's been very hard to communicate with anyone lately except for my bandmates. That's about where I stand still, almost 2 years later, since the Great Psychic War of 2021. I will find the Bible verses correlating to all of this phenomenon I am expressing miraculously through my mental blockage and mind being stuffed with the void lately. I will post the exact references biblically in the Bible in the description, so you guys can understand a little bit better. I'm not the best at conveying exactly everything going on right now, but there will be a fruition of cosmic music being expressed and created through such experiments, either through Prometo Lux in the future, third or fourth album, or in other projects that I'm involved with. Poly into the Hexagon, Wide Awake Night Terror. I don't know yet. It seems the best to be conveyed through Prometo Lux because of the overall sentiment of the band and the sacredness behind the geometry of consciousness and the backstory of psychic warfare in the novels that seem to be a prophetic description of basically a certain antithesis demon that comes to creep and manifest its way into your overall purpose, your overall intent. It tries to manifest a reversing factor. And that's something that's been happening in this reality lately. We experience the weirdest things, like the rabbit hole kismet, to where we have to discuss conversations about how to conversate, so on and so forth. It's a declension of the same innocuous things that are what's making nature in conveying, oscillating in and out of reason right now. The main question is, outside of the Bible, it's been said to be over 500 words or more of a story has been able to predict the future when put into matrices. The question lies if outside the divine inspiration of the Bible, if it truly, other texts as well have, being divinely inspired, have the ability to predict the future in the same sense. And if that's the case, the music conveyed through these perfectly formulated matrices will also convey to you the future through frequencies.